Okay, today's video is a little different. I'm looking to motivate you, maybe even inspire you to try to do something new with your photography. And specifically, I want to talk to you about compositing. So I want to talk about what it is, why it still matters, and why you might still want to learn it even with all of the AI tools that are available today. And the first question you're probably asking is, why not just use AI to create these fancy images? The thing is that AI can create incredible images, but there's still some big concerns, especially for photographers and anyone doing commercial work. Number one is that copyright. I think it's still a bit of a gray area. I don't think it's always clear who owns AI generated images. Is it you? Is it the software company? And is the image that you just created based on someone else's work? So for commercial clients, personally, I wouldn't take the risk. Number two is that creative control is really limited. If you've ever worked with an art director, you'll know how specific commercial shoots can be. The shot is usually already defined before you even pick up a camera. And the thing that I found is that AI still can't make tiny changes or really precise adjustments without changing other parts of the image. I find that AI just simply can't reproduce a very specific predefined composition. Basically, it just doesn't give you the level of control that you have when you're shooting real elements. The other thing is that AI often encourages guesswork. So right now, a lot of AI use is you type a prompt, you scroll through the results, you pick the one that looks good, but that's not really intentional photography. It reminds me a little bit of when presets first came out. People would take a photo, they would run them through all of these hundreds of presets that they had. They would just go next, 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 next. Eventually, they would come up with something that looked good, but it wasn't intentional. So for the most part, it's just a happy accident. And this is why I think that compositing still matters, because as photographers, we create our own assets, and that's what makes the final image yours. A composite simply means that you photograph your elements separately, and then you blend them together in Photoshop to create the final image. Back in the film days, this used to be impossible pretty much without physically traveling to a location for the full crew. So for example, if you were shooting a couple drinking martinis on the Swiss Alps, you used to have to require an actual trip to the Alps with your crew and your lights and your set and everything else, which is really expensive. Now you can shoot all those elements individually and combine them realistically, but you're still maintaining full creative control. You have ownership of all of the assets, and you have the ability to design images exactly how you imagine them. And more importantly, you've got a workflow that's acceptable for commercial clients, because unlike AI, you know that every pixel on that photograph is something that you created. Okay, so this is what you're going to learn today. I'm not going to take you through every detail of compositing because that would take weeks. Instead, I'm going to show you one tool inside of Photoshop, the Harmonize tool. This is the perfect entry point into compositing because it's going to help you to blend elements together naturally, such as color, tone, and lighting. And then from there, you can build up your skills to make better selections, more advanced masking, fine-tuning details, more complicated workflows. But today is just the beginning. This is to show you what's possible and hopefully spark a bit of creativity in you. So let's jump onto the computer and I'll show you how this works. Okay, so we're starting off inside of Lightroom, and I've got some images here that I've dug up from previous shoots. What I've got is 3 backdrops and 3 model shoots. I want you to pay attention to the backdrops. You may notice that they've got a bit of a color treatment to them. I've done that on purpose, and I've made it quite a strong treatment because I want you to see how well Photoshop blends the image that we're going to superimpose with the backdrop. So as you can see, very, very strong color treatment. But if you look at the shots from the models, they don't have anything done to them, right? So I haven't done anything except go to the develop module, and then I've clicked on the auto, and then I just brought up the exposure just a tiny little bit, but that's it. I've done nothing else with the shots. I'm going to let Photoshop go and do its thing. And I just want to point out this particular shot here. You can see that this is a very, very unique, it's not unique, but it's a very different lighting setup. This is a butterfly setup. You can see that you've got 2 strip lights on the side, and so you can see that there is a shadow in the middle. So this is going to be really interesting as to how it does with this image here, because the lighting in here is quite difficult to match to the backdrops that we've got. So let's import all of these, or let's open these inside of Photoshop. We're going to click all of them, and then we're going to select edit and edit in Photoshop, and we'll let that open up. Okay, we've got everything open in Photoshop. You can see all the tabs up at the top. I've got the that jetty, and then I've got the train station, and then my model shoots, and then The first tab is that wharf. We're going to bring the wharf over to the other ones, to the other backdrop, so we keep everything organized. And I'm thinking that for this particular shot, I'm thinking that this is probably the one that I want to blend in. So we're going to pick that one and this one here. So we are going to click on the model sheet. I'm going to click and drag over to the tab that I want to open it in, and then I'm just going to release. Now, obviously this is too big and we've got the whole thing. We just want her. And so what we're going to do is, first of all, let's just bring this down to size a little bit. Let's just put her over here, and then we're going to click OK. I'll tick the up at the top of the screen, and then we are going to remove backdrop down here. So we're going to click on that and let Photoshop do its thing. Okay, and as you can see, Photoshop has done a really, really good job of selecting the subject and getting rid of the backdrop. So we've got off to a really good start. So now we need to work out the size. So she's too big on the screen. So I'm going to click on Command T or Control T on the keyboard, and it's going to bring up the resizing tool or the transform tool. So we're going to just bring her down to size just a little bit, and then we're just eyeballing this. This is not a perfect science. I think about there would probably be about right. So we're going to click on the tick up at the top, and this is starting to look really good, but of course you can tell that this is fake, okay, because the lighting is completely different. So now we are going to click on the Harmonize button down the bottom of the screen. We're going to click that, and we are going to let Photoshop do its thing. I'll fast forward through this bit because it can take a little bit of time. Okay, and it's finished, and I think it's done a phenomenal job. It's a little bit dark. We're going to fix that in a second, but I just want to turn the effect off and on, and I want you to pay attention to her feet. There is a shadow here that wasn't there before. So if I turn it off and look at what it was before, you can tell that this is fake. This is starting to look really very, very real. So in here, all I would do in here is I would put a curves adjustment layer over the top. Whoops, I clicked on the wrong thing. I would put a curves adjustment layer over the top of it. I would clip it, and then I would just maybe just bring her up just a little bit. And I think that there looks about right. So that it looks very believable. That looks like she's actually there. So this is how quickly we can actually put a composite together very, very quickly. Now, is it perfect? Probably not. We'd have to go in and have a look at the edges, although it's looking pretty good, but there would be a little bit of tidying up that you would do around the edges, but you've got everything on masks and layers and masks. So very, very easy to control. And as you can see, look at that shadow. That shadow looks amazing. That's very, very sellable. That looks very real. So let's have a look at another one. We're going to maybe pick the train station. And then for that one, I think we were going to pick this photo here. So again, I'm just going to click and drag onto the other image, and again it's too big, so we're going to bring this down to size. Let's just start off with anything at the moment. It doesn't really matter. We'll fine tune the size later, and then we are going to click on the tick or click down the bottom, and we are then going to remove the background. So we'll click on that and let Photoshop work on that. And again, it's done a really good job at getting rid of the background. So now it's a matter of placing her approximately where she would be if she was actually in the scene. So let's maybe resize it a little bit, and then we bring her down here. Maybe I think it's too big still. I think that is maybe about right. I'm going to say about there. I think I'm going to say about there, I think. And we can fine tune this later anyway. So we're going to click on the tick, and we may have gotten the size right, but we definitely haven't got the look right. You can tell this is very, very fake. And so again, let's click on Harmonize. And I mean, just check that out. That looks incredible. Now, there is a little bit of retouching that needs to happen. There's not enough shadow here on the right-hand side, and we may have to tweak that. I forgot to tell you in the previous image also that you do get variations of the Harmonize effect. So you'll see here on the right-hand side, you've got different options. So we're looking at the first one, but we can also click on the second one.
which actually I think looks a lot better. And then there's also a third one, which I think I like the second one best. I think that looks very, very sellable, especially if you zoom in and you have a look at the image. I think it looks fantastic. This would have taken hours to do using the traditional method. So again, I'm just showing you an introduction into compositing and how you can get started to create images like this one here. Okay, let's have a look at the last one because I've got one more. That's this one here. This is going to be quite interesting because we've got a few challenges here. First of all, I've made this very, very cool. All of the colors are very, very cool. And then, like I was saying before, we've got this challenge with the lighting. The lighting is studio lighting. We've got 2 strip lights on either side of her. And that is not what the light would look like if you had her in that scene we're about to put her in. So let's click on her, and then we're going to drop her in here. And let's, again, resize. So let's bring that in a little bit. And I think if we resize, that's probably a bit too small. Again, we can fine tune this later, but let's maybe go about there. And then we are going to click on the tick box. You can also click done the bottom of the screen, and we are going to then remove the background. And this is really not going to match at all because, like I said, first of all, the backdrop it's got a very cool color tone, and she's got a very warm color tone. So, and then you've got the issue with the light. So this is going to be really interesting. Let's click on Harmonize and see what it does. Okay, and it's done. And again, I think it's done a phenomenal job. That lighting is no longer there. It doesn't look like a studio lit person. And again, we've got different variations. So let's click through all of them. That's the second one. I think I prefer the first one. Let's have a look at the last one. And then we've got this one over here. I think the first one is actually the best one. It's matched the backdrop, I think, really, really well. You can see how it's toned down the warmth of the image. And again, we could probably brighten her up a little bit. So in here, we would select the layer mask, and we would add something like a curves adjustment. This is if you wanted to do it. I'll just clip that there, and we'll bring it up just a little bit, and you can see that's actually made a really good difference there. So let's turn that off and on. We got off and on. It's affected part of the backdrop because you can see here that the layer mask is not just picking up her. So the best way to do this would be to then adjust the brightness as you would like, and then go to your layer mask and then invert that. So we can do a Control or Command I, and then just using a brush tool, you can go and then just brush that effect back in there. So again, that's fairly easy to do. But again, I think that actually looks quite good already, given that this is an automatic tool using AI to do something that would have taken you hours to do using the old-fashioned ways that we used to do this. So I wanted to show you this because I think that is it perfect? No, it's not perfect, but it might be good enough for certain things. And if you want to get started in compositing, then you could always start off with something like this and then go in there and fine tune it before you move on to some of the other tools. So hopefully this is something that you've enjoyed, and maybe you can start doing some of this kind of work with your photography.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give the video a like. And also, if you want to see more content like this, make sure to click the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way YouTube will let you know when I upload my next video. And if you've got any questions about anything that I covered here today, leave them in the comment section below. I'd be happy to answer any questions and help you where I can. But that's everything for today. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.